Good morning. Welcome to the podcast, Second Cup of Sunrise on this Tuesday morning, October 21st.
Yes.
With James, I'm Brennan. Glad to be with you. How about this little background you have going on
Yeah,
behind
isn't that
you?
cute?
How about that?
That's very nice. This is new as of 3 minutes ago when I walked in. It was a nice little surprise, a nice little nugget they gave our Second Cup of Sunrise show.
You kind of look like you're on Zoom.
I do. It looks
like a background behind.
fake. I mean, it's
Yes.
obviously a TV.
It is.
Background information. It's just a loop of, but that's one of the best views of Rochester is right on that
good.
little spot there. The sushi place that we were supposed to go to for my wife's birthday yesterday is actually right next to there. It's like across the street from there.
Right there at
There's that little
Exchange,
plaza.
Cornhill Landing,
Yeah, Keep
yeah.
It Rolling, I think
Yeah.
it's called. But she's been sick past couple days. Yeah. And then Mason got up and threw up a couple days ago, so he wasn't feeling
man.
great. CJ's fine, the baby. I'm fine. So we went with plain pasta last night. Super lame, but it's the right thing to do when
Any butter, Parmesan on it?
a little bit of butter and then a little tiny bit of Parmesan on
Boy,
top.
that is what my kids have like 4 nights a week.
Oh,
That is-
really? Yeah.
They're
It's so basic,
vegetarians
obviously.
by choice or not knowing. They just refuse. Like
They don't like meat.
we are slowly getting into the cheeseburger conversation.
Okay.
They've done
go.
Beyond chicken nuggets, which they like. They'll do that,
nice.
have it at school.
As long as
or
it's got protein in it, right?
I was about to say the real ones at school, whatever's in them at school.
Yeah.
They'll have those. And we started going with the cheeseburger, and I think I've shared this before. Like Brooklyn likes the idea. I think they do it on Bluey or something, and so she wanted to have a cheeseburger. We tried ordering one at a restaurant. It at least made it to the plate. She dressed it up with lettuce and ranch.
Yep.
It is slowly getting closer to her. She had a bite of one at school.
Okay, there you go. Progress.
Not too much cheese on it, just like a piece of meat in the bread. And then we said, let's try to make little sliders. They love the Hawaiian rolls, just with butter on them.
Oh, sure.
Who doesn't? King's
Yeah,
Hawaiian.
those are
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Sweet.
Add more butter on it.
Right.
And Steph made some little sliders last night, and they at least made it to the plate. So they are in the periphery, in the
There
view
you
of
go.
them. It's getting closer in their bubble. Maybe we'll get them eating that. I mean, I'm just trying to think of anything, just because we just worry about protein and what they're getting in their bodies. Something besides pasta, fruit, veggies. It's great, but anything, any type of protein to go
They
in.
did a CBS Morning because I've watched CBS Mornings, obviously. Huge
Yeah.
fan. Just kidding. I'm saying that sarcastically because I kind of have to because of my cuttings.
You listen to them all day.
Yeah, I have to have them in my ear basically. So I have Tony and Gail and Nate going, and they do like a talk of the table. And one of them was how doctors are like officially recommending that you feed your 6-month-old peanut butter. And that's changed because of it was like a study in 2010 that was not science, where they just like intuitively said, wait until 2 years or something like that for peanut butter. And that they're like wiping that from the slate. They're saying we are getting rid of that recommendation. It is now 6 months that we suggest, and you have to do it safely, right? Obviously not raw peanuts because it's a serious choking hazard, major choking hazard. But like we did creamy peanut butter and then like water, like 50-50, and then like kind of swirled it around and then like just touch the tongue, like super basic to get them involved, to get rid of the peanut allergy. And it's supposedly like 50,000 kids or something like that would have had a peanut allergy up until this day over the last 5 years or something like that. So it's working, which is good.
Yeah.
But that's one of the big things we do. I mean, peanut butter, PBJs. Big PBJs in the Gilbert household.
They like those too. We'll make them. And that study, I mean, we talked about it. It was on our noon show yesterday. Another review out of the Children's Hospital in Philly where they surveyed hundreds of kids and their parents. And they were like, yes, it's no longer like, basically they were saying 2 to 3 years, maybe too late to introduce it to them.
Right.
The allergy or to get them away from that. Just like when you get allergy shots to eventually over years make you immune to something. And they said, start introducing young age, careful, very low doses like you talked about. And just to see if there's any reaction. And yes, some people will be deathly allergic to it in a severe sensitivity, but it was working. Yeah.
Yeah, and then if they are allergic to it and you do the very low water 50-50, like you might see a reaction, they're like, oh, okay, there's the peanut allergy. Or you might prevent it because it's something that would have developed later if you waited.
Speaking of kids and doctors,
Yes.
Brooklyn was a trooper, went to get her 3 stitches out of her forehead yesterday.
Nice.
There's no numbing or anything. What they do is just teeny tiny tweezers, scissors.
Yeah.
Just clip one. and then you just pull the string out.
It's a little discomfort.
It's a
but
weird feeling.
Right.
But I told her we would do Lickety afterwards,
Nice.
and went and did that. So big success. Everything was fine
Nice.
at the house. As we talk about some of the upgrades here in our studio, different things, all the different monitors we come in and we turn on.
Right.
And as we're figuring this podcast out now, 6 months, whatever we are into it, not just our show, everyone else throughout the day, Izzy, Adam, Thad, everybody.
Yeah, Gio.
I've had 2 straight days where I've come on here and I've decided I have to stop talking about work on this podcast because I'm going to get in trouble. Because
well, emails come in the afternoon after we're gone.
we're creatures of habit. I jokingly on here have complained about things being out of place or new things added, lights, monitors, things behind you. We moved that monitor that was behind you yesterday because of a big glare.
Yeah.
And I was too lazy to turn it on and get your fancy screen behind you. And then an email came out yesterday afternoon saying, stop messing with everything. Don't unplug things. Don't roll the monitor, even though it seemed to move smoothly on the carpet.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? That's 2 days in a row we've gotten in trouble. So I'm going to leave it.
2 minutes to show.
I
We
know.
had to go.
I was trying to make it
to-
work. Yeah, we got that.
That's funny.
Some
Moving
other
things around.
some other updates of moving things around.
Yes.
Michaela said on our Sunrise show this morning that Friday will be her last day with us.
Yes.
So 2 years and some change. She's going to be staying in town. Got a boyfriend, his family.
Yep.
Best of luck to her, whatever she's going to be doing. As she had said, she spoke for herself on the show, and she will again Friday when she's with us, of just that best for her now. And
making the
looking
moves.
for her.
We,
Yes.
we met her boyfriend Kyle yesterday, and he seems like a nice guy.
Came in
So-
at 4 o'clock. How about that?
AM,
Usually people come in
folks.
for like a noon show or
AM.
6:30, 6:45.
Right.
Watched the whole thing sitting in there.
Yes, he did.
And hung out.
I questioned him, and I'm like, "Are you crazy, or are you?" He's like, "I like the show.
Both.
I enjoyed it." And then I asked Michaela this morning, and she said, "Yeah, he liked the show." My wife has not come in for a morning show.
My wife has been here just casual stops, not between 5 and 7.
Sure,
She's
not for a
been
morning
on
show.
our broadcast.
Yeah, that's right. For
Talking
interviews
about
and
the
things like
zipper
that.
on
Yes.
490 and everything
Yeah.
she does with Bosse's.
Yes,
But yeah,
the radio stuff. Yeah, and gosh, I don't even know if Lauren has seen a noon show. To be honest, maybe a cut in or
she
two.
just stops in briefly. You give the kids a tour and
It's
then you
not
go
that-
around. Yeah.
From our perspective, it's like it's not that exciting.
Does she watch?
No, I don't think ever.
I think Steph does occasionally, and I've been sharing with her
But
all
you're
the.
up. Lauren's still sleeping. Alarm goes off at 7:30.
Man. I know.
But she does
Steph,
late nights. She does up till midnight.
Steph, I get the text like 5 or something, but they have
Yeah,
whatever
kids are
else
up,
on.
right.
And then she's like, I hear I'm always ending up on your podcast. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
content, need something to share.
There you go.
So
reason
yeah,
for that, yeah.
Sunrise team for now. So beginning next week, it'll be back to you and I.
Right.
We did about 9 or 10 months of that. So when I came over here, actually tomorrow, that'd be 8 years since I started on TV in Rochester.
Oh,
First
wow.
at Channel 10.
How about that?
Then
The
came here.
22nd.
Yeah, I was there for 5 years, took a break, thought I might be done, ended up here at a nice home. And so October 22nd, I think that was our first day when we
How about
started
that?
there. In
That's
Rock.
funny.
Still going.
So when did you start? Do you remember when you started at News 8?
January 3, it'll be 3 years ago come
Yeah.
January,
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
23rd.
Just based it on your children's age.
Yes,
that's
I'm
how
trying
I
to
do
think.
all my dating.
It was 3 months
Okay, so
after
Mason
Julia.
was born this day.
Yeah.
What happened after that? That's how you do plus or minus.
Yeah.
So we'll make it work.
Yep.
We've done it in the past.
Yes, we have.
This is busy season for me. We're going into winter season. We've been in a drought, Brennan. There's been no activity at all. A little bit of rain today.
A little bit of rain.
And
I
we've
know.
got flavors of lake effect later this week. I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready for snow season. A lot of energy. I think a lot of people kind of, there's always kind of this buzz, like, when are we going to get our 1st snow? So we'll see what happens.
The first snow, not accumulating, but first flakes, is usually Thursday, the 23rd of
23rd,
October.
yes.
We would see some. And
Average.
last year, was it December?
We got nothing in November at all, and I think it was literally the 1st of December that we got snow. And normally we get like a half a foot in November.
Yeah.
We get snow in November
Yeah.
around here. That's normal. And we had a very dry start to last winter, but a good finish. 86 inches, I think it was, which was a big regression to the mean because the 2 years previous to that was 50 each. So there was nothing. So I'm thinking we get more than 50. You know, I think it's going to be a good winter.
It's been a bit since we've had like a big 6-7 inch snowfall, like in a quick
or like a
turnaround.
footer.
Yeah.
We haven't had one of those. I mean, now there's such a caveat with Wayne County and Webster and stuff.
Yeah.
It's always different out there. You
The
guys had some
104
big
corridor,
ones.
yeah.
Williamson, Ontario had some big snows. Pulteneyville-ish area had some decent lake effect this past
You
year.
would always say that during our show, our friends in North Rose or Wolcott or Oswego just getting dumped on for hours and hours.
Right.
I did go ahead and you have to do the math and pros and cons and different things of, are you doing snow plowing? You're going to do it yourself per trip, a couple of runs a season, full thing. I did all the math. I love the guys I work with. They're great. They have the big construction vehicles with the snow blowers, so it's not a truck pushing it. It's they just come down, drop it on it, and then
go backwards.
Like, 2 goes. Let's go. They go backwards, and it's gone. They back up in reverse all the way to the garage door, and they get 2 to 3 inches from it.
Sure.
And I'll pull up that ring camera, and I'll see like, and I'm like, you know what? If he hits it a little bit, new paint job, new siding, something covered by it.
They got good insurance.
No,
and
they're
the
good.
snowblower is nice because it does like
Completely
neatly remove the snow. Snow plows, it's like you're gonna kind of jam it up against something. So the snowblowers are getting much more popular. Very European.
Price went up a little bit.
I bet it did.
I was like, oh man, I don't know about.
So what's the conclusion? You're bearing the lead here.
I went with it.
You
full
did
season.
it. Okay,
I looked at
there
it.
we
The other
go.
one was like it was a certain number of trips, and
pulled
then
the trigger.
and then it's a percentage of the trip after that, and I did the math, and it's a difference of like 2 or 3 runs to make it worth it, and they were right near the mark last year. So I'm thinking, I always say one more year, we'll get a big snowstorm, and it'll make it all worth it.
Good for you.
Yes.
Do it. Why not? Support local business. Hey, how about that?
To be determined on that.
Yes.
It would be helpful if I could get my refund check, the inflation check.
Oh, you still haven't gotten it?
I still have not gotten it.
Oh my gosh.
So I saw this story.
Come on, New York.
This story came up. Is one of the top read ones, of course, on our website this morning. Where's my check?
Yeah.
The state explains why some are still waiting. So again, this is that one-time payment to give some people some breathing room with all the inflation, different prices. The state has sent out about 4 million of the 8 million checks that they're going to send out.
50%.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not zip code or last name, nothing to do with it. They say they're not being distributed geographically. They're being sent on the order that everything was processed.
Okay.
So your next door neighbor could have gotten one. You a couple of miles away, one zip code over, may have gotten one. They say most by the end of the year.
End of the year.
Most by the end of November as well. So I think it might be a little while.
Interesting.
Waiting on it. But
By the order, their orders were processed. That's interesting.
I could do a follow-up. Like, was it, what date did you do your taxes?
The file date, maybe?
It was the 2023 tax year whenever you did that. So what would that have been? Early 2024?
We were early filers.
Was I a late year?
Brennan.
In January, February? And that was probably, that was April 15th.
We did it within a few weeks ago.
Right on it. Too. Maybe the people who did extensions to the fall that get to October each year, waiting even longer.
Wait,
just an incredible game last night as we get into the World Series. How about this reaction from all the Toronto guys?
Yes.
They were up against it.
The vibes.
Seattle had it going for a little bit. They were up early in the game. But the big homer of the night was in the 7th. It was a 3-run shot from George Springer off Edward Bizzardo, who just came into the game. They would go on to win. Toronto did at home. It is their first World Series appearance in 32 years. Seattle hasn't been, I don't think so. That would have been a nice story.
They've never been to the World Series.
Yeah. But
they were that close.
It was wild.
That's painful.
Yes.
So are there more Toronto fans or like probably Yankees fans here, but there's got to be a good amount of Toronto fans, right? They're looking a lot closer.
Yeah. The other thing, as you get closer to Buffalo, because their AAA team is the Toronto affiliate, so there's some love there. There were some posts from, and there's that homer, that 3-run shot to put Toronto. Just watch the crowd. Wild. Like Josh Allen, the Bills, they shared some love for Toronto, saying best of luck and everything, and they're going to be going into the World Series. That will be starting Friday against the Dodgers. I did get up First thing I did this morning, like 2:30 when I was awake in bed.
Yeah.
I was like, what are ticket prices? Just because I was curious. Get in the door for SeatGeek in Toronto, $950 or so for game 1. 1,100 for game 2, and then they'll go to Dodger Stadium for 3 games before they finish it back up. The most expensive ones, thinking it might be a series. Game 6, game 7.
Okay.
You put that up, get your refund if it doesn't go that far, but man.
I mean, that's a steal compared to the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl is every year like $6 to $8 grand get in for the
ticket.
cheapest ones,
Right.
and it's just wild. And these guys that have been to every Super Bowl, 50, what, 53?
Start
54 of them?
the day after.
No, it's just crazy money. Crazy money. We got more to talk about here on the pod. 15 after the hour. If you're watching us live, if it's on demand, appreciate you doing that. Back in just a moment. Back here on the podcast for this Tuesday, 21st of October. I'm Brennan. He's James. We had a nice conversation on our morning show for What's Up Rock, which is just question du jour.
Yes.
And it was about chiropractors.
Yes.
A couple of years ago, when I was here working at my former station, I woke up one morning out of bed. And the weekend before, I did some running and did some yard work. And I tried sitting up. And so I would have been, how old am I now? 89 to 5, so
mid-30s.
36, so I was probably 33. Yeah. And I just couldn't move. Severe pain, whole body.
Scary.
I was almost crying, like trying to stand up to get out. Stephanie had to help me get ready to go in the shower. I still ended up going to work. I could barely sit at the desk in the chair or move. And I was like, what is going on? Something with my back or my hip.
Yeah.
And I have a friend of my brother-in-law, his brother actually, he's a chiropractor in town. And I was like, can I please get in? I've never seen a chiropractor, nothing.
You knew something was up,
Yeah, so I go in and he starts, just feeling around at first. And he's like, yes, something with your hip, like it's out of place. We gotta, you're crooked. We gotta get it set up. And I didn't know what to expect. You just see the shows, the memes of cracking everything.
Right.
And it's a full experience, almost like a spa, depending on where you go. So they put on the big heat packs that any athlete growing up would have had in high school or college. Put it on your back with towels to get everything nice and loose. They put on the, what do they call it? Tens or the electromagnotes, the patches to shock you for a little bit.
Patches,
yes.
Yeah, give you a little zap.
They turn it up a little bit, and then they take all that off, and then they just start doing everything,
cracking away,
stretching out. And and they're like, it's going to be painful for the first couple of days once they get all these toxins out, whatever it is, but you'll be fixed. And I went almost a couple times a week for a little bit to start, and then like once a month, and I slowly got away from it. It was awesome.
It worked for you.
It is a weird thing. And they did tell me there's a common misconception whenever they mess with you or your back cracks or pops. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that it's working. It just depends on the air pockets or anything.
Sure.
The one uncomfortable thing is when they do get to your head and they're like, do you want your neck adjusted?
Yeah.
And you think like whenever you... if you're ever in a fender bender or anything like that, you think you really like twist your neck.
Right.
They're like, just relax. And then they kind of move it around.
Yeah.
Pow.
And they just pop it.
And it's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you know that you're not going to snap my neck or anything?
Yes.
So weird feeling. It's a weird feeling, but...
is it a good feeling? Is it like relieving? Like, oh, I didn't know I had that stress in there?
Yes, it gets to that point. Not immediately, but like the next day or 2 days.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I just feel loose and good.
Stephanie actually went for the first time over the weekend. She woke up Saturday and was like, I don't know what happened in the middle of the night, but I gotta go.
Oh, no.
And so she called him up, same guy, and goes to see the doctor. And he touches her shoulder like a stress point. And he's like, wow.
Oh,
that was
man.
his reaction.
Yeah.
He was like, you've got all this pent up stress and being tight. So he worked with her and he's like, no, listen, you had some problems. It's going to be hurting. So the next day, but she was like, wow. We did ask for a What's Up Rock poll. Changed a little bit.
How about that?
62% out of about 100 votes saying they've been to a chiropractor. You've never been.
No, I've never been. No.
Well, hopefully you don't ever have to or feel like you need to. Back problems are bad. Once you have one back problem, it's tough. Might not go away.
I feel like when our second kid was like 6 months to a year, she's now over 2. And I was like constantly bending over and picking her up and putting her down. Mm-hmm. And then I got the other one that's always getting picked up and put down. My back was starting to struggle a little bit. Like I could feel it. I was like, there's something going on here. And I attributed it to picking up and putting down the kids. Now it's not so bad because she's on her feet. She's moving around. Yep. Obviously the bigger one, she's 4 now. So I'll still pick him up occasionally, but it's very rarely. So now that I'm not picking up the kids all the time, my back is actually better.
I know. I reached a point too, and it's, you love your kids and sometimes they just want to be held, but you're like, I just can't. Or like, I'm just holding them and carrying them and like, I just have to sit down. And they're like, no, I want you to stand up and walk around. I'm like, I can't.
Pick me up.
Yes. But
first of all, say please.
I know. I'm like, now you can walk. You can walk.
It's so true. And like, the little one, I try to like save her when I'm holding them, or like they'll take a nap, or right when they get up, they're all snuggly. Mm-hmm. So you like kind of let them like rest you, and it's not going to last forever. So you got to soak it in. But after a minute, I'm like, dude, you're 40 pounds, man. Like I can't keep doing this.
We always say this is the smallest they're ever going to be. So try to remember that. But then I had one yesterday, the youngest, when I had her and she was laying down. I'm like, okay, we gotta wake up. It's 4 p.m. You gotta get going. Yeah. And I go in there and she just goes, Dad, get out.
That's what she said?
I was like, you gotta wake up. She was like, no, close the door, get out. I said, you don't want to come with me? She said, no, I want to lay here.
Yeah.
And I said, you gotta wake up. She said, Dad, get out.
Oh my
and I
gosh.
said, okay,
fine.
So I stepped out and later I told Steph, I was trying to get her up and she told me to get out of the room. And that was it.
Wow.
Didn't want anything to do with
so
me.
Funny.
I was like, how old are you?
Put yourself to
almost
bed
13 or 3.
Sound?
Yeah, how about that?
Right?
Yeah.
If you don't want me here. I asked Mason to go to Home Depot with me a few days ago, and he loved Home Depot. I don't know what it is, but he said no, and I was flabbergasted.
What happened to you?
Don't want to come to Home Depot with me? He's a 4-year-old boy. He's got to want to come to Home Depot with me. So Lauren was right there, and I'm like, is this the beginning of the end?
Wow.
So next time, it's not going to be a question. She always tells me that too. Don't ask a question that you already know what the answers should be.
Yeah.
You say, you're coming to Home Depot with me.
We're going. Not, do you want to?
Exactly.
If you don't give them a choice, they can't make the choice.
Right.
Finally, here, before we talk a little bit about the forecast coming up, I saw this unique story. Are these the best Christmas cakes, by the way?
So good.
From Little Debbie,
yes.
As soon as you have them. So they're celebrating an anniversary to the Christmas Tree Treat, 40th anniversary. They're going to have special Santa Claus packaging this year. Ooh. The company is also offering fans a chance to win their favorite flavor in the 40 Days of Giveaways contest. What I didn't realize whenever I started looking this up this morning, these were not around last year.
Oh, really?
I didn't know. So it must have had like 2-year-old Christmas tree cakes.
Yeah.
It was an issue with... I don't know exactly. I can check Southern Living if it was, whatever it was to make them and to get them around. So they were gone last year.
There was some reason.
Everyone was happy to have them, and they're going to have the new packaging and everything.
I never ate the chocolate ones. I was always vanilla.
I don't know if I've seen the chocolate ones. Yeah, but back.
Okay, so when I was like wrestling in high school in the best shape of my life or whatever, I would...
How many could you have?
A whole box.
A whole box.
I'd eat the whole box in one sitting. It was like $1.49 back in the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
And I would buy a box and I would
just go right through
the whole thing.
It's like the Michael Phelps diet. To do that.
I didn't do it a lot, but there were a couple times when I just went the entire thing.
You know what I could have?
I do one now and I'm like, oh.
Just feel it. The donut sticks, the donut logs that were 2 to a pack.
Those are good.
I would go to my Mimi, my mom's godmother's house, where I stayed with her. She's like a grandmother to us, and I would just Friday night, 6 or 8 of them, just hammer right through, plus a pizza,
And
plus
you're playing
whatever else.
soccer, right? So you're burning
Sure,
thousands of
sure.
calories. I mean, you're a kid, you're 15 years old. I remember you just sweat like the dickens. So
I know.
You burned it off.
I know.
Boy, we can't do that anymore, can we?
No, I had one bite of a donut over the weekend, and I'm like,
Yeah.
still regretting it. That does it for the pod. See you at noon.
Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 on demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.